Have you ever wondered what lies beyond our solar system? Well, meet Voyager 1, a spacecraft that has been exploring the vast depths of space since 1977. Voyager 1 has traveled over 14 billion miles from Earth and is now the farthest man-made object from our planet. Astronauts and space explorers encounter a variety of odd and puzzling events every time they venture into space. Two essential pieces of technology, Voyagers 1 and 2, have made and continue to make significant contributions to space exploration. Voyager 2 has nevertheless made contact with unidentified objects in outer space, but the results may not be favorable for mankind. With the help of this spacecraft, several incredibly unnerving occurrences in the universe outside of our solar system have been observed. How gruesome are the revelations that Voyager 2 made? What happened to it then? You will get to know this and plenty more as we dive into the details of today's show. However, before getting started with the video officially, here's a quick reminder that you can subscribe for free and like the video so that we can boost the algorithm. Comments are most welcomed. The start of space exploration. 1965 is regarded as the beginning of the modern era of space exploration because it was just 8 years earlier that the Soviet Union had launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite. Flandro, a part-time employee of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, was tasked with developing the most efficient method to launch a space mission to Jupiter, or perhaps even out to Saturn, Uranus, or Neptune. He made the surprising revelation that in the late 1970s and early 1980s, all four will be strung together in a long arc like Earth-like pearls on a necklace by plotting the orbital paths of those giant planets with a pencil, the precise tool of the 20th century engineers. Due to the coincidence, a spaceship may accelerate due to the gravitational pull of each large planet it passes. The invisible rope would appear to be pulling the probe along, but it would suddenly break, sending the probe hurtling off into the opposite direction. According to Flandro, the regular gravity support will reduce the time between Earth and Neptune's orbit from 30 to 12 years, despite the alignment only occurring once every 176 years. There was a disadvantage. By the middle of the 1970s, a spacecraft would have to be launched in order to reach the planets while the lineup was still in force. As a result, Voyagers 1 and 2 were built. The Voyager mission. Progress was achieved in August 1977 towards broadening space exploration. Because they felt it needed to be given more priority, NASA led this initiative. 8 years after Neil Armstrong took his first stride on the moon, NASA realized they needed to build on this. When they put the Voyagers into orbit, NASA believed they were acting correctly, and they were. Our neighboring planets were just waiting to be discovered and researched, and the Voyagers provided an excellent path in that direction. The Voyagers were launched into orbit to give us a taste of what is out there in space. The Voyager twins are relics of their era in many ways, including the fact that they each feature an 8-track tape recorder for storing data, 3 million times less memory than contemporary cell phones, and data transmission rates that are around 40,000 times slower than those of 5G internet connections. The Golden Disc, which includes greetings in 55 different languages, images of people and locations on Earth, the music ranging from Beethoven to Chuck Berry's Johnny B. Good, belong to every one of them. As Earth's first representatives to the outer planets, the twin Voyager spacecraft captivated the public's attention in the 1970s and 1980s by taking up close pictures of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. On August 17, 1977, Voyager 2 became the first spacecraft to enter orbit. Voyager 1 was launched on September 5th the same year. The Voyagers had accomplished a great deal up to this point, and 46 years later, they are still going strong. Despite having identical architectures, the two satellites have different predicted paths. The primary goals of Voyager 1 were to study Titan, the biggest moon on Saturn, and its rings. The irony of the Voyager mission is that, despite being in orbit for just over 5 years when it was launched, it has been there for 46 years as of this year, with no signs of stopping. Since these are not your typical game gadgets, and you can clean their specks of dust and still work without a hitch, it is difficult to create a machine that outlives its useful life. The scientists who worked on the Voyager deserve praise for their accomplishments. Voyager's technology may be the first to be able to differentiate between the magnetic field of the Sun and the region between stars known as interstellar space. NASA's exploration program will be extended beyond the outer planets of the solar system with the help of the Voyager's interstellar mission. This is because its efforts were made to uncover it, its immense potential and significance could not be fully expressed. In addition to continuing to describe the environment of the outer solar system, this mission will look for the heliopause boundary, the Sun's magnetic field's furthest reaches, and the solar wind's outward speed. precise research will be possible because the solar wind will cross the heliopause border between it and the interstellar medium. It's vital to keep in mind that the Voyager mission, which was completed in 1989 when it passed near quiet Neptune, is being extended by the Interstellar mission. The last outer planet that the Voyager spacecraft visited was Neptune. While Voyager 1 sailed close to Jupiter and Saturn, Voyager 2 flew close to Neptune and Uranus. The Sun's peak is located in the direction of the Sun's motion with regard to its neighborhood stars, and Voyager 1 is departing our solar system at a speed of 3.6 AU per year, traveling 35 degrees north of the ecliptic plane and nearly in the direction of the solar apex. Voyager 2, however, is also leaving the solar system at a rate of around 3.3 AU per year. Given that Voyager 2 is traveling across the uncharted areas in space, anything can go wrong while it is so far away. Voyager 2 is reportedly encountering issues, according to NASA. The first indications of a problem with the spacecraft appeared during a rotation maneuvers that Voyager was supposed to perform to calibrate its magnetic field instrument. Because the craft was unable to complete the rotation maneuvers, two power-hungry systems turned on and activated for longer than necessary, consuming more power than they should have. Voyager 2 has a very limited power supply, thus it uses radioactive fuel to convert heat into power. However, as the fuel ages and deteriorates, the amount of power it can produce drops. When power levels drop too low, the ship disables non-essential systems, including its scientific instruments, to protect key operations. After the rotation maneuvers failed, Voyager 2 disabled its scientific apparatus, making it unable to collect new data. The engineers had to work very hard to try and fix the problem from the ground because the spaceship is so far from Earth that it takes 17 hours for commands to reach it, and another 17 hours for the ground team to see the ship's reaction. Nevertheless, the team managed to restart Voyager 2's instruments despite the challenges. The instruments on Voyager 2 are now fully operational, allowing it to complete its mission of learning more about the vast interstellar void between stars. Another possibility is that Voyager 2 has contact with aliens. How much of it truly happened, and how much of it is true? Keep in mind that it takes commands sent from the Earth 17 hours to reach Voyager 2 in order to put this distance between the two bodies in perspective. However, communication isn't always as straightforward as it seems. It wasn't until the end of 2021 that it was realized the Explorer might have encountered an uncommon issue. Conspiracy theorists got into work as soon as this problem arose and swiftly converted it into a rife rumor. The Voyager 2 probe may have been discovered by aliens. Who could have modified it to break communication with Earth? Some theories suggest that it should have been just discarded as junk, but a German expert insists that this glitch can only be the result of extraterrestrial activity. The UK's The Telegraph likewise intervened and expanded on rumors, trusting the word of a UFO expert without comparing it with reliable information from a person who is knowledgeable about space. All of this was done to raise copy sales and views. Whether a UFO or aliens were involved in this operation is still far from clear, and the most likely cause is that something went wrong with the Voyager's programming. However, it is certain that the alien theory will be discussed for a very long time to come. What's the rationale behind that? Since it also incorporates curiosity and something that people have been looking for a very long time, it goes beyond simple speculation. If there are aliens, they wouldn't just mess around with a machine that's flying above their world, would they? Or is it a caution to avoid them? Whatever it is, it fundamentally defies logic, and we prefer not to knock on a door that only leads to a brick wall. Though speculation on this topic is highly recommended, it must be done so with extreme caution. We should give the Voyager expedition everything we've got, because doing so will promote our careers and should be our top priority. The aliens could be sending signals to keep us at a distance, because they might be too frightened to confront us later. That leads us to some intriguing conjecture. The two spacecraft are far older than what the mission planners had anticipated. They are close to 46 years old. In addition, we are in unexplored, very radioactive interstellar space. The voyages are propelled by plutonium-238, which has an 88-year half-life. Although it seemed to last forever when they first launched, there isn't much base power left to power the spacecraft now that it has reached its halfway point, because it dares to go where no spacecraft has gone before. The current Voyager mission is especially amazing. With the unanswered theories, we have reached the end of today's show. Which of these hypotheses do you support? Do let us know your preferences with your insight in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up. It will help us to understand our audience and allows YouTube to suggest similar videos to you. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you at the next one.